my Instagram friends and followers. A happy Tuesday to you all. I'm coming live with a very interesting topic today, which is how to manifest your dream body. And I have a special guest. So I'm going to, I see that Carolina is already here. Let me just send her a request. Let me punctuality. I love that about people. Me and Carolina are on the same wavelength. Hello.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm really excited about today.
Me too. Me too. Hold on. Let me set myself. Is everything good? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear, I can see you. I can see my mum's watching. Can you comment, Mum, one of my biggest supporters, that you can see us and hear us well?
Hello, ma'am.
The Instagram gods are with us today. Yeah, so how, in a couple of words before I let her introduce herself. So I'm coming at a bit of a random time, but the people that can't watch this live, you both look beautiful. Thank you. It's not biased at all. And people watch this on replay, and now that Instagram, I found that you can download videos, so I'll put this on my Facebook, I'll put it on my YouTube, so hopefully we'll have as many people as possible listen to this amazing conversation. So Carolina is Polish, but she lives in Florida. And how our paths crossed was through a mutual coach, Coach Van Ann. So shout out to her if she comes across this live later. We were both invited to be guest speakers in her workshop, which is Come Home to You. So when I met Carolina on there, I was instantly attracted to her beautiful energy. I was like, it's my person. You know when you know a person. And then I thought that I'd love to do something, but it wasn't the right time, and now I thought it was the right time. So Carolina is a manifestation, a mindset, and embodiment coach. I love her motto or sign off, which is "Limitless mind creates limitless life." But I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yes. Excuse my voice. I am coming out of my cold, so it's still kind of like my throat is not fully healed, but I will try my best. So thank you so much, B, for the invitation, and hello everyone. Thank you for watching. Yes, my name is Karolina Krakowska, and I'm a mindset, manifestation, and embodiment coach. And like you just said, B, we met through Van An, which is absolutely amazing coach, and we definitely sent her some love from here. And I'm so happy and excited to be here and to share my journey, my lessons, and to hopefully inspire some other people to go after their limitless life, because limitless mind starts creates limitless life, and everything starts with our mind. So thank you. I'm
Yes,
excited.
as you said, when we were talking, you said manifestation is my jam. I love it. And something that's really interesting is that we both have been on a big weight loss journey, and we both lost a large amount of weight. So that's something that I'm interested in. And by the way, if you go and follow Carolina, you'll see in one of her highlights is her story, I think in 6 or 7 parts, but it's definitely worth a watch. And you'll see ups and downs, including her weight story. But yeah, I'm curious to know a bit more. So how did it happen for you?
Oh, well, so the story actually starts back in Poland. Like you mentioned, I'm from Poland. Currently, I live in Florida, and I moved to Florida 10 years ago. And I think that was the time when I hit my kind of like the biggest weight. number, and that was for me, for the very first time, I realized, oh wow, something is not right, because before I didn't see this, that I was putting a lot of weight on myself. I was eating a lot of junk food. I was working at back in Poland, I was working at the KFC. I was studying at that time, so I had my part job. I was working in the KFC, and I was eating every day, almost like every day, junk food and sweets, and I was partying a lot. And I really didn't pay attention to how much I had grown. And at some point, I remember when I stepped on the scale and I saw the number, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Where are we going? What's happening? And that was the first time that I realized that no, something must change. And since then, of course, I went on many different diets. I tried many different, techniques and tools and everything, and exercises, and trying to work out every day. And I used to hate working out. It wasn't my, it wasn't my thing. So I was forcing myself. I was really, truly forcing myself to do workouts, to try to eat healthy, but I was still sleeping, from the track. And what really changed, what really helped me to lose weight, it was mindset. It was mindset. So I really believe, and I really truly tell everyone that mindset is everything. That's where my motto comes from. Limitless mind creates limitless life, because all the limits we have are in our heads. And once we can truly untangle all the mess and all the stories that we create in our heads, around our bodies, around our health, around ourselves, what we think about selves, then it's really going to be hard, because I struggled for a few years to lose weight. I was going down, I was going up. It was like a yo-yo effect. I tried many different diets, many different plans, and it was really like I was losing the weight. I was like, yes, happy, I'm on the right track. And then something happened, and I was going right back at where I was. So it was really like up and down, up and down. And what really helped me lose weight and sustain the weight loss for quite a few years right now, it's been the mindset and emotional healing. That's what really helped me with manifesting the body that I have now, and that I still work through to keep it, and to get even more healthy and more fit, and be happier, healthier, and more successful. So in every area. So yeah.
My God, so parallels with my story, just as I suspected, actually. Me too. I was in the stage that I was just kind of, well, exactly like you. I think you don't notice the weight like creeping up, because beat by beat by beat. And you said you stepped on the scales. I saw a photograph, and I was like, "Oh my God, is that what I look like?" And you get that moment like, wow, I didn't realize, because just looking at yourself in the mirror every day, see that tiny change. And I too tried all the diets and everything, and I'm sure that you'll agree that it's the sabotage, isn't it? Because we have somewhere. And I loved how you said, I forced myself. That's where the problem is, when we force ourselves to eat a certain way or to move our body a certain way. It's not sustainable, because it doesn't come from within, and we keep slipping back.
Yes.
How much weight did you lose? Just so the audience knows.
So it's over 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So like 16, I think in kilos, it's going to be like 16 kilos, I think.
Yeah,
so,
quite a lot. And that was some years back. You kept it off.
Yes.
now.
Yes. And it was before, it was like, you know, up and down, up and down. I was losing, I was gaining. I was losing, I was gaining.
Yeah.
And then, yes, at some point I was like, okay, let's really get to the root cause. So what is the root cause? So why am I sabotaging myself? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I actually, you know, sometimes I wasn't even hungry and I was still eating. And I was like, what's wrong with that? Like, that's not normal. We eat because we are hungry, or we need to, you know, like, excuse me, to fuel our bodies. But I was eating because I felt, like, let's say, sad, or I felt stressed. So I was eating my emotions. So that was a big problem too. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize. I looked at this as a study here in the UK that was done in 2018, and it said that 49%, so basically half of people have emotional eating issues. And then something else that's more and more to light is like the things that they put in ultra processed foods that then creates a physical addiction to food. And some people battle both. They have the emotional eating and then they get addicted physically. It's like, oh God, why we free ourselves? But like with the mindset work. And losing weight is not always difficult, but it's keeping it off. So the fact that you and I, it means that we've worked with the real cause, with the otherwise it's just a symptom, and if you deal with the symptom without addressing the root cause, then the problem just keeps coming back.
Yes, exactly, that's how it works. So thanks to that, also I started coaching other people, not actually in a weight loss, but because the things that I healed in myself was definitely mindset shifts and emotional body. So they all are connected to not only weight loss, but to everything in life, to relationships, to business, to our success, to how we perceive the world, ourselves, and everything, right? So that's where what led me actually to also mindset manifestation and embodiment coaching, because it's all like a holistic approach to everything. It's the synergy. I like to call it synergy. Like everything needs to be synergized and work, you know, together. It's not just one part. It's all together. So
Yeah, I love what you said though. There's nothing works in isolation. We look up, but we need to look at the bigger context. So when it comes, you said you did mindset work. Would you mind sharing a little bit of what kind of techniques you used?
yes, of course. So I actually developed my own technique that I like to call conscious coding. And if anyone is interested, you can go to my Instagram link. And there's also, I wrote a 40 plus page ebook about what conscious coding is, and with 7 practices that you can start using daily to reprogram your mind and body.
For myself, actually.
Yes, it's pretty cool. I have really great feedback about it, so people love it and they start practicing. There are 7 easy practices that I like to recommend every day to just start the work on your mindset, on your emotional body. So definitely you can download it. It's free, so you just can go to the link. And the conscious coding, what it actually is, I look at our minds like the computer, right? It's like, it's basically like a computer. And we already know, probably our audience also knows, that from a very young age, we are being programmed, right? Our subconscious mind is just like a little, we are like a little walking sponge. We absorb everything because our brain waves are in theta state, which means it's basically like we are really adaptable to everything that we see and experience. And a lot of problems with everything in life, with relationships, with weight, with business, with everything, comes from our childhood. A lot of our problems comes from our childhood. And that's what I realized, that my weight loss journey was also very connected to my childhood. And when I realized that, when I actually started doing the deep work on my mindset and actually digging a little bit deeper into my subconscious mind, I realized that I had patterns, I had stories, I had beliefs that did not serve me. And no matter what I did, even when I tried to force myself to work out, even when I tried to eat healthy, the patterns and the beliefs and the stories that I had in my subconscious mind that I was not even aware of consciously, they actually kept me stuck. They kept me on this up and down roller coaster, and on this self-sabotage. And that's why we have to go into our subconscious mind to reprogram, to consciously code and reprogram our subconscious mind, so that we kind of like we update our computer system, right? You have updates, you download it, you update it, and now your computer is running better, right? It has more memory or a better system, and it runs better. So that's what we need to do with our subconscious mind as well. We need to update the systems, because very often we think that something is wrong with us. When we, let's say, we cannot lose weight, or we cannot find a relationship, or we have no success that we want, we think that something is wrong with me, something's wrong with me. And the thing is that nothing is wrong with us. We are perfectly fine. The problem is that our subconscious coding, there is some issue, and that's what we need to work on. But we start to blame ourselves. We start to speak to ourselves really badly, right? We start to judge ourselves and criticize. And that's not the whole point. It's not going to help us with anything. We need to dig really deep into our subconscious mind, discover the codes that have kind of like a viruses, that are not serving us, that are sabotaging our behaviors, and then bring them to our consciousness, reprogram them, and then we can go and do really achieve what we want, because the program is supporting us. It's not like the virus that is kind of like sneaking in silently, but it's supporting us in our goals and what we want to achieve. So that's what conscious coding, what's the work on mindset is actually that I do with my clients. So yeah, that's briefly.
Yeah. I think where did I see this line that reminds me of, in order to achieve our goals, we need to align our conscious efforts with subconscious beliefs, and when that is in alignment, that's when you're gonna go where you're getting. Otherwise, the program is working against you. The virus sabotaging whatever good work you are putting in. So many things that you said. I'm so grateful around how we as children walk around as like sponges, but at the same time it freaks me out as a new mom, because I'm like, oh my god, how do I not mess up that child?
So let me free you even right now. You are going to mess up.
Well,
you are going to mess up.
And that's the thing, we have to kind of, instead of, a lot of people blame the parents, but at the same time think, well, they did the best that they could, and they were their programs from their parents, and it's not about blaming anyone here. But the thing about babies is that, I think, we're all, like you said, we're all born perfect just as we are, and my baby girl is just getting to the stage when she's looking in the mirror and she loves what she sees, and she doesn't think, well, that Reese is a bit chubby, like what's going on here. They just love seeing themselves. But as they grow up and then they hear something from family members or other people, from teachers, and then we start getting these layers, and somebody else puts in those our programs, don't they? And when you said about exercise, it took me a while to understand why I didn't like exercise. And then I realized I had a really horrible PT teacher, and she basically hated exercise. exercise altogether. And how silly, like one person can ruin the whole thing for you. That is how it works.
Yes, and that's so funny that you said it because it was exactly the same for me.
What?
It was from the school, yes. I hated I hated working out at school. I really didn't like the teacher that I had, and I remember that it was one particular time that we had a test or something, and I really like didn't feel good. I was on my period at that time, and I
Yeah.
was like 12 years old, I think, and I really didn't feel good. And I failed the test. Of course, I got like, like
Yeah.
D or something. And that was really like painful for me. Like I took it as the programming, like
Mm.
it sink in my body, like I'm not good enough. I don't like exercising. Everyone is laughing at me. Like I'm not going to do it anymore. And just from one event, we create really the stories, and then we start repeating the stories in our head, and that's what is really not serving us. So yeah, that's exactly how it happened for me. Like I didn't really like to exercise, and I had to reprogram that too, and I had to uncover where is this coming from.
Yeah,
So
which is a lot of work. I don't know about you, but some of these answers are just in your body and feelings, and you can't logically thinking find an answer like where it comes from the body sometimes.
yes, and it's really stored in our body and our subconscious. Like even right now when I work with my clients, it's so fascinating for me that our subconscious has answer to everything. Like it has answers to really every single question. We just need to learn how to tap into it. And with the right guidance, it's so easy. I'm so like enlightened to see my clients when they come with surface level problem.
Yeah,
When we dig a little bit deeper, they're like, oh my gosh, that's where the problem comes from. Now I understand. Now I can change it. It's like a whole new world. It's like discovering a whole new world. And that's so beautiful because we are trying, just like I was trying. I was trying to force myself to lose the weight. I was like, I have to, what's wrong with me? Like I have to eat healthy, I have to exercise. And I was trying to force myself because I didn't know the root problem. Once I discovered the root problem and I digged a little bit deeper into also emotional body, because we have a lot of emotions around our self-image, a lot of like shame because we don't like some parts of our body, right? A lot of like guilt because maybe we abandon ourselves and at some point. So there's a lot of emotions. Anger, right? How many times we are angry at ourselves for something, and that is going to be stored in our body. It can be stored in our parts, let's say in the belly part, right? And then someone has a belly and they can lose the belly because there are some emotions stored in this part of the body. So it's really important to really dig a little bit deeper to do this. I call it unsexy work because it's not fun. It's not sexy to dig a little bit deeper and face your your unconscious coding, your programming, your emotions, your fears, your wounds. It's not fun. But once you can do it, once you can really go through it, a whole brand new world is waiting on the other side. And that's the whole magic, that our clients, like my clients, especially when I work with them, it's like they have the answers. They all have the answers to really create the life that they want. So that's what is really fascinating for me. Like we are looking outside, like I will try this diet, I will try this plan, I will try that, I will try that. And then we have the answers. So that's the whole beauty.
yeah, definitely. Oh, that I loved. I think it was a reel that you did when you said, "I can't teach you abundance. You already are abundant."
Mm-hmm.
Guide you. We can have conversations about this, and it's just to find those answers within. And in regards to weight loss, when some clients come to me, they fall in this trap, which I used to myself, and maybe you did as well, that we look for the diet that's like least amount of calories or seems the most effective, and let's say it worked for your friend or it worked for Jennifer Lopez, or the same with exercise. I remember thinking, well, you've got to do cardio, and then I went, no, it's all about lifting weights. You've got to lift weights, and I was just, instead of listening to myself, and it took me a really long time to understand. But once I did the inner work, I asked myself, what do I like to eat? How do I like to move my body? And I was like, well, actually, I don't want to do weights, but I like walking. I love yoga, so why don't I do that? And I've realized that comparing it exercise to exercise, like to like, you kind of think, well, what's the point in walking or yoga, because lifting weights is going to burn more calories. But then I realized, but it's no good lifting weights once a week or once a month, because there's a resistance to it. I'm forcing myself to do it, whereas perhaps I could go for a walk every single day. So therefore, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, I will burn more calories because I'm not forcing myself to do it. So that was kind of a what I wanted to ask you in terms of weight loss. Do you do anything specific, or what would you say is important in maintaining that weight loss? So you lost the weight. Do you do anything specific to keep it off, or what would you say the most important thing is?
Yeah, so definitely what I think the most important thing is still mindset, still working on the mindset, because of course we have cravings. I do have cravings sometimes. It's just like when you go to the party, right? And there are beautiful cakes and desserts and you're just staring at it. Do I eat it? Do I not? And it's not about like really restricting yourself that you cannot ever eat anything, because I do sometimes eat some sweets, but it's not like every day. Because what definitely we need to work on is our habits and our behaviors, right? And observing our patterns. I remember that when I realized that I wasn't eating because I was hungry. So I used to ask myself, and I still do sometimes, when I have like, oh, I would like to eat something, or when I, let's say, when we go to the movie and we watch the movie with my husband or something, and I feel like, oh, maybe I would like to eat some popcorn, or maybe I will have a Coke, or maybe something. So I'm asking myself, am I really hungry in my stomach? And that question like changed the game for me, because I was like, wow, there is a difference. Am I hungry in my stomach, or am I hungry in my mouth? And that is the question that still keeps me like, no, I'm not hungry in my stomach, because very often we are not hungry in our stomach, right? You are like, you feel full, but you would just, maybe you are bored, or you are stressed, or you would just like to snack on something just because. So I'm asking myself still to this day, like, am I hungry in my stomach, or am I hungry in my mouth? If I'm hungry in my mouth, let's say this way, if I'm hungry in my stomach, then it means that I'm hungry and I should eat something that will nourish my body. If I'm hungry in my mouth, it means that I just have a craving. And what I use then, I use visualization. I feel like, okay, so what do I want to eat? Let's say that I want a donut. I'm like, okay, let's pretend that I do eat a donut right now. And that's what I do to you now. Like, I pretend that I eat it. And when you really focus on it, when you visualize it, when you really feel it in your mouth, you feel like you really eat the donut, and you don't even have to eat the donut. Even right now, when you, let's say, when I tell you, like, imagine that, close your eyes and imagine that you go to the fridge and you have you open the fridge and you have a lemon in the fridge, right? And you grab the lemon, you cut it in half, and you just smell it and taste it and lick the lemon. You're going to probably feel the sour taste of the lemon, right? Because our mind is so strong, our imagination is so strong. So very often when I have the craving, I'm like, okay, let's eat it in my mind. So I imagine myself that I eat it, and then I feel like, okay, I wasn't hungry in my stomach, so I just gave my imagination and my mouth the craving that it needed, even without physically, doing it. So that's my kind of like a tool that I like to use for myself to trick my mind, you know.
Yeah, that. Because sometimes it's just finding that question. I have a question that I used much later in my journey, and that question was whenever I'm faced with a choice, question was, what would healthy bee do? So it would be, would she take the lift, or would she, go to stairs? Would she order the burger, or would she? So you kind of hold yourself up to a higher standard. But yours is particularly perfect for emotional eating. 'Cause am I really hungry, or is this just an emotional thing, just a craving?
Exactly.
Conscious mind, as well. It's like maybe you're not craving anything, but you just see an advert, or you see somebody else eating something, and like, oh, I just got this craving, and it's just been put upon you. It hasn't come from within you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when we have the the willpower and kind of like I would say the willpower to really focus on not self-sabotaging ourselves, because even when you ask the question, for me that's how it worked. The question, what would healthy Carolina do, it wasn't kind of like resonating with me, because I knew what she would do, but I would do still something different. So this question wasn't strong enough for me in my case. Because I was hurting myself. Like, what would successful Carolina do? What would the fit Carolina do? Right? I was asking the same question, but it wasn't like I knew what she would do, but I wasn't her yet. So there was this gap in between, and I was like, I know what she would do, but I'm going to go and eat it. Yeah, so that's why it didn't work for me, and that's where the next question came from. Like, okay, am I really hungry? How can I trick my mind into thinking that it gets what it needs, so it has the kind of like it's like their survival mode is safe. You know what I mean? Like, how can I get my survival brain to feel safe? Because our imagination is incredible. We can really, our thoughts create our reality. So when I think about eating the sweets or something that I want, you can feel it in your body. Your body feels it. So instead of really doing that physically, you can just imagine that you are doing this, and you are going to feel it. And that's what I started doing. I started tricking my mind into feeling what I wanted to kind of like also achieve, because seeing myself fit was also tricking me, like tricking my mind, right? Like, okay, this is how you are going to look like. It's beautiful. And I was feeling more kind of like brave to go into this like uncomfortable, how to say it, uncomfortable, I forgot the word. Let me think about it. Like, uncomfortable situations, because it was uncomfortable for me to work out. It was uncomfortable for me to, eat healthy, because the comfort was in the food, and that's what I was craving. I was craving the comfort, and that's how we can. We need to realize, okay, where do I crave the comfort? How can I give myself comfort in a different way? What part of me craves the comfort? How I can make myself feel safe and comfortable and still do the uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So it's a work on the mind, and that's really like digging a little bit deeper into our subconscious mind and tricking it into thinking, doing the right way, even though it's the other way around. You know what I mean?
So deep that I'm still
I lost you.
like way below ground here. Like we're pretty deep down there. So some of you may need to come back and re-listen to this, because these are really deep conversations,
Yes.
but conversations that will change your waistline as well as your life. 100%.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely like a mind game. I call it like a mind game, you know. So it's definitely a mind game that you can play with yourself and see how what serves you, what serves you, because our beliefs are nothing else just the thoughts, and very often we have the thoughts that don't serve us. So we need to find the thoughts and create the beliefs that will serve us. And for me, that was it. Like I can imagine it, I can feel the little taste in my mouth, and then I'm good. I don't need to do it. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
very
helpful
powerful.
for
And
me.
I loved also what you said that that question didn't work for me. I first in some book that I read, and it was like, right, that makes sense to me. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that we can't like take other people's questions or affirmations necessarily. Have to feel, does that feel aligned with me? And I used to have this affirmation when I was going to the gym, which was, I'm losing 2 pounds a week. I'm losing 2 pounds every single week. And it just didn't feel natural. And there was some sort of reason, I didn't quite understand it. And then a bit later, I listened to somebody talking about weight loss, and they said the word lose is a very negative word. We don't
Yeah.
lose, I don't know, car keys, lose people, lose money, lose friends. And I was like, well, maybe I'm not connecting with the word lose. So then I flipped it to I feel fit and slim. And I could just feel that just saying it, like my back was strengthening. I was like, oh my God. So it's important to pick what's right for you, or just tweak words, or because it's got to resonate, otherwise it won't work. You
Yes.
again, you yourself something that's not natural. Does anybody have any questions from the audience that have been able to join in live in this conversation? If not, you can post your questions afterwards as well. People that watch replay and from the other platforms, like I said, I'll try and put this on Facebook, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel as well, and we'll get back to you if anybody wants to ask anything later. Did I want to say something else? I love the abundance that you said, it's all within us. Talking about manifestation, I loved in one of your posts you said you must believe before you can achieve. So again, that's like the mindset work. You must believe it. Is there anything else that you want to add, or maybe just summarize, Carolina?
Uh, I think that, for anyone who is on a journey of, weight loss or relationships or business or anything, I think everything comes back to our minds, because our thoughts really create our reality. So the mindset work and the embodiment of the mindset work, because just mindset work is not enough. Just like I said, it's synergy, right? So if we think that, oh, I will do just mindset work and then everything suddenly will fall in my lap, that's also not like that. Because manifestation, what also people very often mistaken, is that manifestation is just like I will sit here and stuff my mouth with everything, binge watch Netflix, and I will manifest my dream body, right? So unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Manifestation is co-creation, and we co-create by the meaning that we give to our to any situations, to our thoughts, to our emotions. Very often we give the meaning to all the things. So it's really the work, the inner work that we need to do on our thoughts, our emotions, our meaning, the stories that we tell ourselves, the words that we use to ourselves and to others, because the words carry a huge, huge power. Like it's a massive power, just like you said, lose. There is an energetic charge to the word lose, right? Lose weight. What I also realized when I learned about the energetics of words, that I started using, instead of losing the weight, it was like I'm releasing. I'm releasing, I'm letting it go. It was more like, I don't want to lose it, because when you usually lose something, you want to find it, right? So I was like, I don't want to find it anymore. I just want to release it. And that's what I was also like coding. And that's why I like to call it conscious coding, because we consciously start to code our subconscious mind with different words, with different, let's say, even affirmations, right? So it's all about the words also. Our words are very, very powerful. So that's where the whole work starts with our mindset, and then we move into the body, and then aligned action. Because without aligned action, then of course it's not gonna work neither. So that's why I like to call it like there are three main pillars. Like conscious coding, it's all about mindset, our thoughts, our words, right? Then emotional integration, how to integrate our negative emotions that we have attached to different, different situations, different patterns, different parts of our body, right? So that's the emotional integration, and then at the end the aligned action, because we have to take some action, right? We cannot just, when you sit at the couch and stuff your mouth, that's also action, but is it aligned with, with the goal that you want, right? So those are like the three main pillars that I work on, and they are beautifully come together and create great results in any area of our lives. So
yeah, I think that's beautiful. Just as you highlighted, people forget about the action part. They just think, well, I'll just sit here, chant all day, and my life is gonna change. The point is that you do the work, so you change as a person, and you taking different actions.
yeah.
That's the point of it. When you change, then you do things differently.
Exactly.
So I'll be getting myself a copy of the Conscious Coding. Make sure that you do as well. It sounds amazing and it's a free resource. I would also appreciate if you send us some love, so we can see this conversation was of value, and then perhaps we'll come back for part 2. Who knows? Planting the seed out there. And follow Caroline, tag and share people as well. If you've got a friend or friends that you think would benefit from this powerful conversation, and it's just basically shining the light on the fact that and it's much bigger. Raquel says lots of love. Thank you, Raquel. We talk about this for hours. I'm sure you'll agree. And it feeds into everything in our lives, business, personal relationships. There are other stories to be told. But any kind of work you want to do, you have to do the inner work. So when you just go and diet for the weight loss product or for the fitness program that's not aligned, you will be always caught in that vicious circle, and you'll never come out of it. Yeah, so I can't thank you enough for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you. I love you and leave you. Have a fantastic rest of the day in Florida. I'm sure it's really sunny. I'm not jealous at all.
It is not really sunny, but it is sunny. I mean, the morning was very cloudy, but now I can see some sun shining through the clouds. So hopefully it's going to be a beautiful day.
Amazing.
So,
thank you. And I will speak to you again soon. Thank you everyone for watching, and for those who will watch on replay later. Have a fantastic afternoon.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.